All right.
That's what I'm saying.
We will open this meeting of May 23rd. Let the record show that Selectman Dawson is not present. At this time, I would like to make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, B, I believe, personnel.
Second?
I'm sorry, it's A.
Second.
Yep. Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes. A motion.
Yeah, we gotta make,
Make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public as they pertain to personnel permanently, or as they pertain to legal until the matters are resolved.
second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Joyce,
All right.
you want to continue?
Yeah, just some dates to remember.
July 4th?
5/29, next Wednesday, you're meeting at the Samberton Town Offices
Indeed.
at 4:30 to discuss,
Stuff. It's a meet and greet. They're going to have food and everything.
They are?
That's what I understand.
And I'd emailed Bob
Refreshments.
to confirm. Do you know if Belmont's coming?
I do not know.
We do have a 6 PM commissioners meeting to open up the
bids.
letters of interest for picking a new commissioner.
I was going to ask how
At
that
6 p.m.
went last night, because it was supposed to happen last night, wasn't it?
No, the 29th.
Oh.
They were supposed to
I put-
cancel. We were told that the 22nd was canceled, and
Right.
today we found out there was a meeting last night. I was told by Pat Clark it was canceled,
Yep.
and there was no posting of it.
Then
So-
that's not a legal thing, is it?
No, it is.
It's not legal.
No, it's not
Too
legal.
bad.
But, could be an oversight.
Yep.
We really, I'm wondering if they can push it to 4 and then, because the commissioners, we have to be there at the commissioners' meeting at 6.
Well, the other thing is, some of us can stay in Samerton and some go to the other meeting, so that we're there to see if the process...
Commissioners are going to be there too, they've been invited.
And I emailed Bob while we were waiting, wanted to know if they had responded to the invitation. He emailed back and said, "Hi, Joyce, they will not be attending."
Wow,
Okay.
what an irresponsible thing to say. Why wouldn't they attend?
Maybe because they have this other meeting scheduled at 6.
Might not be.
I will let Bob know that the selectmen have another meeting at 6.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then on June 4th, from 9 to 12:15 at LGC is the Hawkers, Peddlers, and Panhandlers. So,
4th,
June
Yeah.
4th,
9,
9 to 12:15.
Yep.
June 4th, 9 to 12, yep. I have that written down.
So far I have Catherine Wisner, Catherine Dawson, Joe Jessman, Sandy Plesner, but I didn't
Aye.
have you. Did I have you on there too?
You should, because I said the new date.
And it's you I don't have. No?
Because I haven't known.
Oh, well, then you're...
No, I didn't go to the initial one because I couldn't, the dates were conflicting, but now with the new one, I can go. The new date.
Okay, and Joe, you're not going.
What day is that on?
June
Tuesday.
4th.
I have a conflicting,
Oh, you're going to the recycling,
yeah, but that's, what time is this on?
9 o'clock.
9 to 12:15.
No. I knew I had a
Just go in that place,
conflicting
that's all.
thing on Tuesday, and that's it.
When this was originally set up, he said in here that you could have two members from each community, because this is really for attorneys that represent municipalities.
It's to sign in.
So, and I said, it's okay that we've got 4 people
You don't
coming.
want
He
to-
said, oh, yeah, there'll be room.
Hawkers and Peddlers.
I know.
So I told him that on the 30th, next Thursday, I'd call and see, because he said we might have to get a bigger room. I said, well, if you do get a bigger room, I said, would it be okay if I went down, because I'm really interested in this? And he said, sure, so.
I would be more than happy to step away and allow you to go down and you bring the information back. I would certainly be glad to do that and take my, yeah, absolutely.
All right. And then
I'm
you're
interested,
going.
but I assume that if one or two of us go,
Right,
we'll have
right.
that
And-
information
And it's very
available
important
to us.
for Catherine and Joyce to go down, because they
Yeah,
deal with it
this.
every day.
Yeah.
I would think that would be more
Yeah.
important. So I would much rather that happen in a selectman or two go with you.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
How soon are is the summer craft fair going to be at the outlet mall? Because I have not had a chance to write a letter to the outlet mall to say to come in and get the peddler's licenses.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Just shoot him an email.
Yeah, send them an
Shoot 'em
email.
Shoot him an email.
Eric, yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Okay,
Do you have his address?
Sometime in
His email?
July, I think.
okay. And we will be able, as selectmen, to amend our town meeting hawkers and peddlers license, because,
RSA 131.
yeah, 31102, it's the governing body can adopt an ordinance, so it would just be as a supplement to this town meeting one. So that will be good. Okay, and then on Thursday, June 6th, we still have our public presentation from New Hampshire Department of
DOT,
Transportation.
yeah. Yep.
And then on June 13, you have the
Gaslight Village.
Gaslight Village. And
Yeah.
she had sent me another email. She had more questions about some planning things, and I referred her to Gus, and she just wanted to know if there's any way she could come in and sit down and talk to us before the meeting. Are you available sometime if I call her?
Yeah, just let me know when.
Because, I mean, I just don't deal with planning stuff
Right.
much, and
No, I don't mind, just give me some dates. I have to call and make a dental appointment, but that's about it.
okay, so it would be before her meeting on the 16th.
Okay.
She just wants to be fully prepared.
If you want to take care of that tomorrow and let me know, and then I'll just put it down, that way when I make my appointment, I'll already have this date in mind.
You say 16th
Yep,
again?
13th.
Yeah.
6 o'clock on the 13th.
13th. yeah.
You're messing me up.
No, you said the 16th.
You did.
I did.
You did
The
that last
13th.
time.
And I'm
too.
looking at it, and I
And
said,
it's highlighted in yellow.
yeah. I'm going, whoa, we're going to have a meeting on Sunday?
Second time she's done, I'm like, holy, she's got that 16th
It's the
bag for
sugar,
something.
it's that cupcake. Okay, here is your warrant. And
That's taxes.
this is comparing to last year. So we're up a little bit. We're up over 2 million. You want to hand that one
Yep,
to
I
Jill?
surely will.
Kathy, did I give you one of these already? Here's the warrant.
Can we make a motion to accept the warrant? Do we need to do that in the motion?
No, I think you just sign it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just looking for that Sherry Lane letter. Where did that one go?
And you put the other
I'll
one
hand
that
it
you were
back
going to
to you,
redo
I'm sure.
inside
I
the
did.
folder there. The Sherryland folder, the one that you were going to erase the top part where we signed. Should be right on the top,
Okay, good.
okay?
Yeah.
Pass that down.
Guess we gotta sign this.
You didn't have Catherine sign the warrant.
I know.
One,
She
yeah,
can
three.
sign it.
Well,
I'm
there's
gonna give it
4
to
names
Cindy
anyway.
tomorrow, and then she can, we'll both sign it.
You find everything you were,
I will before I,
what are you missing now?
the correction I was going to make to the settlement agreement.
Should be right there with it. I think you put it on top of it.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Okay, the littering ordinance you had asked me to give,
Yes,
and it's all in your packets, but did you want to wait and do this next week?
with Catherine.
Yeah.
The litter,
Yep.
everybody understand that, Joe? I don't think you were around. The littering ordinance, there was a few questions on it. after we did the approval of the litter ordinance, and we talked to Chris Paquette and the prosecutor, and he looked it over, and there were some questions about it. So we sent it down to LGC, and we got a response back on some of our questions. Did you forward that to everyone, by the way?
No, because it was legal, I just made copies and put it in their
Okay,
selectments.
so it should be in your selectmen folder.
Right.
About there's a few things that we need to tweak. We gave it to Catherine and asked her to take a look at it, and there's language we need to change on a couple of them to be enforceable, and there's a couple that are not enforceable because they're enforceable by the PD. So, as housekeeping, next week, we could make some changes on it,
Makes sense.
and then it will be a solid littering ordinance.
In the to-be-signed were 2 copies of the Waste Zero recycling agreement.
I don't have, did we,
I didn't see it.
I don't have a to-be-signed folder.
Right.
I saw
No, I
this
didn't see it.
envelope that had,
Green folder?
Tim might have picked it up.
Let me run downstairs.
I don't,
It had it had that, and it had Al's request.
No, I haven't seen it.
For 3 months off.
I have the FYI, and then I have a couple of legals that we signed that came out of it,
Yeah.
a lot of the abatements and things, but
Tim and Catherine worked on it. She was very pleased with it. I was there when she signed it. So it's ready to sign if we can
Yep.
find it.
okay.
I got a telephone call today from Scott Davis that, you know how Dennis is doing his parking lot paving?
Yep.
And he always tries to coordinate any of their water work with Dennis. And
Right.
the water company wants to install a new 2-inch water line on Rescue Lane. He wants to coordinate when Dennis is doing that. And Dennis said probably not until August. The fire district, he'll run a new line to the fire district and to the church and to the Panulos building. And one of the things he had requested was, since it's just a lane, and he's already coordinated with the fire department and the other users, that you not require special detail.
It's not just Rescue Lane, it's Tyrone if you're going to go to Panula's building.
It's the one that's next to the Haircuts for Men. Isn't that Panulo's building? Isn't that Rescue Lane?
No, that's
No, that's
Tyrone.
Tyrone.
That's Tyrone.
That's Tyrone. Okay,
Yeah.
then
Rescue's on the other side.
Rescue's on the,
Of the church.
by the church and the cupcake place.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
okay. No, he said next to the barber shop, and that would be Panulo's building.
Right.
Right, that's Panulo's, yeah.
Okay, so
That's Tyrone Lane, yeah.
Tryon.
Tryon, I'm sorry.
Okay, so just want to let you know he's working with Dennis on this, and would you not require a, actually, it's the chief's decision, but
He's working,
He's
they're
not
not
in-
working at the same time. Dennis isn't going to be over there while he's putting
No.
that pipe in.
no,
Right.
and they're not interrupting the flow of traffic. The traffic they'd be interrupting would be the fire department and the Panulo and,
And they'll get out of the
It would
way.
be everybody going in there.
well, no one would be able to use that.
They'll
Right,
block it
and
right
that's a lot of traffic going in and out of there.
So they're going to block off the whole road.
2 days, yeah. He said 2 days.
That's a lot of traffic, Joyce, that goes in there. You'd be surprised how many,
Well, as long as we have big signs.
Oh, yeah,
that
they would have
closed.
signs up saying closed while they're doing that work.
I don't have a problem with that.
Because even when Dennis is doing his, it's going to have to be closed while they do the, it's
Right.
not
And the-
that
And the
big.
water company, when they installed their gas line, they
Right.
had that closed off.
Yep.
So the what?
They put a gas line in,
The water company?
the fire department.
Okay.
It's on the 16th.
Want some more chocolate?
Okay.
I'm trying to
so-
avoid
yes,
it.
I do.
Are we out?
Okay,
No.
another issue is I received a call from the owner of Winnisquam Shores. There's 9 units up in there,
Yep.
saying that over the winter, the plow had knocked down their sign that says Winnisquam, their road sign, and she wanted the town to replace it. And I said, well, that's not maintained by the town, that's a private road. I said, you should call District 3, because they're the ones that plow, and if they knock down, call them. So she did, gave her the number. She called me back, and they said, no, they said, you're responsible because it's the town that requires street numbering and street signs.
What?
So they knock a sign down, want us to replace it? No.
So
Absolutely
So I
not.
checked with Dennis, I said, Dennis, since you've been here, since we did the E911, I just remember that was a big deal when they first
Yeah.
implemented that, and the selectmen had to name all the roads, and we had to, get a rubber band and go every 50 feet and mark off and do all the numbers. I said, did the town put up street signs for private roads? And he said, not to his recollection. That
No,
if it's
I
a
don't think
private
we did.
road, you put
Yeah.
up your own signpost and your own sign, and here's where you order the sign from. It has to be, green
Sort of
and
like a
white.
driveway. If you put up a sign in your driveway and you knock it down, it's on you,
Right. So,
as far as they know.
So I just didn't have time today, but I wanted to look at our street numbering ordinance that we had adopted, Sandy. You didn't have in there that the town requires private property owners to put up street signs off the top of your head.
I'd have to get it out and read it again.
So and I also called the fire department to find out if they were aware of any statutes that require that towns be responsible, and he said he wasn't aware of it, but that was Tim. He said he would check with Brad, but Brad hasn't called me back yet.
Yeah, okay.
So I still have those two things to check before I
Yeah.
call her,
And-
but I'm with you. I mean, I'm in a situation where I am on a private road with a private road, and we had to buy our own street signs and poles and put them up, and people steal them, and so finally we just quit, because it's Ski Hill Drive, we just quit putting a sign up.
Yeah.
About paying for somebody
You
else's
can't
sign.
keep, because people take them. And then on the end of my driveway I paid for the sign, and,
So District 3 plows this.
yeah,
They plow the sign down,
supposedly, that's what she said.
supposedly, and wants the town to pay for their error. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not gonna happen.
No, not
No.
my world.
All right.
You want us to pay 20%? Oh, no, that's
Okay, I only have two more things.
1/3. It's a 33%, yeah. That
Update
ain't happening
on
either.
Ernie's. I had sent everyone emails letting you know what was going on, and their Crederi Associates and Jennifer Martz are moving forward with the petroleum fund, the state's cleanup fund, putting together a scope of work, and Crederi has to do a contract, and the state has a contract. But one of the first things we have to do is I have to show them that I had contacted our insurance company. So I'd called them, and they said, we'll put all the information, file a claim, and we'll get back to you. So I did, Rick Vandenberg gave me the information, like what, exactly what date and time they discovered it, who they notified, what happened. Unfortunately, with when you have to file all this stuff online, when you print out your copy of it, because it's all entered online, you don't get all the information. But I will, maybe I can just read what he said.
Why don't you get all the information?
Pardon me?
Why don't you get all the information?
Well, I don't know, it just doesn't print out. But the interesting thing is that our insurance does cover for oil spills up to
Nice,
$10,000.
Wow.
nice.
So either way, we had to file the claim, and they'll get back in touch with us and
Good.
let us know. So if that's the case, then that could be the deductible. And the other thing is, Rick said that they checked with EPA, and we could just move some of our budget money around in the Ernie's grant to use as the deductible. What the extent of the contamination is, what it's going to cost, how much, where, I don't have that information. It's just that when they took out the oil, the hydraulic lift, when they dug that out, there was a rusted waste oil drum that had leaked. So they cleaned that out, and then when they were excavating the dirty dirt, the 50 cubic tons or whatever, when they got down to the water table, which is not that far down, I went and looked in the hole, it's not that deep, they saw like a an oily sheen, a film on the water, and that's when they called DES. Jennifer Martz went up the next morning. They took a ton of
So
samples.
Jasmine's got to sign it.
But a sheen on the water does not necessarily indicate petroleum products.
They thought it was the gasoline because they found the pipes that went from the underground fuel storage tanks that they had removed. They removed the tanks, but they didn't remove the pipes.
I think
So they
so.
think it was just the residue that had been in the pipes.
Because he's old time.
But based upon the soil samples that they had tested of the dirty dirt, they're within the margins. So it doesn't appear that they are going to have to excavate any more of the arsenic lead-based soil. But we'll be getting a report on that. Our SQAP was approved. That's final now, and I gave the disc to Tim to put the final one on the website. And then I had forwarded the board the Crederi's response to the APCA comments. Did you all get a
Yes.
chance to read that?
I did read it.
And I know that the second alternative isn't what the members of the Conservation Commission wanted or what the board was supporting, but it's unrealistic. They'll take any metal and anything that they find that's in the fill, but to completely remove all of that fill is just not possible. It's not feasible. It's too costly, and when you're disturbing material like that, you're making more of a mess, and it's just, what's the approved method is to cover it and do a soil management plan.
No, when I read it, I was quite happy with, I mean, anything that's of any size, things that were buried, that's all coming out.
Right.
But the fill that's there, I mean, I don't see any reason, especially if they're going to put down the cloth and put a cap and then cover it. I mean, the fill is serving a purpose too. It's giving us a level lot. And to pull all that out just because it's fill. No, I was quite happy with what I read in the letter.
I think
In
you
the
did a good job.
original letter that Ms. Mitchell wrote, it said something about an auto body or a truck body on that property. And for the life of me, I couldn't locate anything like that. Is it buried? Does she know something? I mean, was she misinformed?
I can't find another
It's way
property
in the
either.
back.
I searched high and low, and I didn't see it. I didn't even see fragments of it. So I was just curious.
So, did you want them to come up and talk with you, or we could do a conference call? Because what
Well-
they'd like to do is, if there aren't any other outstanding comments, then they would go ahead and finalize it, and then I can post that.
As far as I'm concerned, I have no further comments. I was happy with what I read.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine with it. Obviously, they got it well under control, so.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I'll email him back, and then, okay, and then a fun thing. When you guys were meeting up here, I was down talking with Cindy, and we had the tape measure out, and she'd spent quite a bit of time this afternoon, and we all came to the conclusion that there just is not enough room to move her. Even to get that one, the big safe out, even though the depth was, I don't know, it's like 34 inches, when you measured the knobs that come out, there's no way it would get out the door. That was just one example. There just wasn't sufficient room. So what we thought we would do instead is keep that as a meeting room, enclose the, and keep the assessing area open.
Can I just stop you for 1 second?
Sure.
Please. Every day for the last week and a half, I've come in and there's been a new plan on what we do and what we don't do. I suggest that we, as Board of Selectmen, have a work session and go over what the Board of Selectmen would like to do, and then bring that plan up as to a viable working plan that we can solve the issues that we have. I am just so bogged down with people saying, oh, this is a great idea, and you come in and someone else is measuring. And then I get the phone call, well, what do you mean you're moving my office? Excuse me, we're not moving anybody's office. We haven't made a decision. We haven't done anything, actually. So, well,
First
they're
I've heard
measuring,
about
they're
it.
doing measuring, they're doing this and they're doing that, and this one's going to go in here and this one's going to, oh, no, that's changed. That's totally changed from 3 days ago. And trust me, this afternoon, it will change again. And probably tomorrow, it will change again. So I would suggest to the board that we take a work session next week in the afternoon sometime with you and
Take all the
Catherine.
suggestions.
And take all the suggestions and put them down and come up with one plan that says, let's work on this one thing and see how we can make this work. The most cost-effective, easiest way we can make more space in town hall, that we can have non-publics in private, that we're not putting out employees to have non-publics, and that we can have a safe environment for people that come into town hall and work with welfare or town clerk. I don't have an issue with, I'm excited that we should be doing something like this.
Me too.
I'm very excited about it.
Yep.
But I got to tell you, I'm way up to here with hearing it. It's, you can't even imagine the phone calls, and never mind coming in here, and even tonight, come in 2 o'clock this afternoon, and they're measuring around the door opening to the
Yep.
elevator. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, this is going to be our new office. Well, excuse
Well,
me.
no, I know, but.
Excuse me,
I know,
it's
people
not.
I mean, we have been, you think you're up to here with it. We've been talking about this for 3 years. More.
I think it's definitely something that needs to be done. We have to do it. We have to spend some money to do it. So what do we do that's in the best interest of all the departments?
Yes,
Right.
of course.
All the departments,
Right.
including the selectmen, because we need to have a non-public space. Seems like we're having an awful lot of non-publics lately. So I think we should do. Do you want to have a meeting next week just on
Non-public?
renovation, just on
Joke.
building changes, just on making this work for us?
Sure.
Will you agree with that?
Yes.
Let me see. Next week.
No department heads, just us.
Yep.
That's it.
We'll go over all the plans that have been submitted, everything's been talked
So
about.
that plan that you have there.
I'll date it.
Yeah.
Let me
Everybody
see
has
it.
a
Let me see it
plan?
anyway.
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
We
I'm
just-
telling you,
we
there's
just
lots of
scratched this out.
plans.
I have no plan. How about you, Al? Al has no plan.
Oh, I did a couple.
Yeah, Al's been busy planning away.
I've been planning.
Okay, so,
Just, what you have to understand is that, I mean, we live here.
yes.
Okay, we
understand
live here.
that.
So naturally.
You have a nice
people-
little office.
I love my office.
There you go, Catherine.
But I'm not, I'm
Tim
not
likes his
tied
office.
to it. If somebody wants it, I'm like willing to give
What-
it away.
What is this? Did you look at what you wrote?
Oh, yeah, on purpose.
AM12 responding, 22 Stratford,
Assessing desk.
apartment 232.
So I can understand why individuals would have
Lakes Region
particular
Mutual Fire.
emotions and passions about anything that means change to their working, but I understand that
Right.
completely. But what the good part of it is that you are able to get information that otherwise you wouldn't have known, and you know how big of an obstacle that it would be.
Right.
So that kind of goes, so it's been a process, and all along, the intent was to bring something to the board
That's
that
ambulance
we
stuff,
could
right?
recommend that everybody could live with,
Right.
but it just got out of hand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Smoke in the building.
Way out of
Every
hand.
time I came in, there was another plan, and it's like, what?
Well, you can understand why it's important to everyone that works here.
Absolutely. But,
Even if we
unfortunately,
don't do something, it's gonna.
but
What
unfortunately.
about Tuesday? Anybody working on
I
Tuesday?
won't be
I
here.
was going to say,
Oh,
what
you're not here.
about Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday or Thursday's fine with me, as long as it's not
Thursday's the
8:30.
best day for me because I blocked that out for
Okay, well, why don't we take
Wag.
Thursday, we can come in before our meeting, have our meeting about that, and then just come upstairs and go into a selectman meeting.
What time, Sandy?
I'm just saying, how long do you want to give to this?
120
Oh,
Point Road.
an hour and a half at least.
Oshkosh.
Hour and a half at least, so if we're gonna, if our,
Really? That's not the night.
No, it's going to be an hour and a half at least.
Right behind it.
With the discussion.
all right, so if we come in at 3 o'clock, sit with this,
On
and
Thursday?
then
Oshkosh.
get up at 4:30 and come up.
Just on fire?
Smoke in the building.
At Thursday, on
Where?
Thursday?
Oshkosh.
Gosh.
Right down here.
On Thursday?
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
Come in at 3?
On
come in at
Thursday?
3,
On the 30th.
yes,
Okay.
3 PM, and we'll start out with the town hall plan, and then come up and go to have a selectman meeting.
So Al will have a plan, you have a plan,
Well,
right?
They got my plan. My plan would have been destroyed.
Okay,
My first plan was destroyed.
all right, so you're going to come up, how many plans do you have to submit? Just
Just
one?
have one.
We're down
All right, and it's
We're down to one.
viable and okay.
I mean, we haven't done anything, we have no estimates, we've never even gotten that far.
No,
No
we're
estimates
not-
on anything
yeah.
until it went to the board.
Before Thursday, we'll just have a plan.
Yeah,
Then we'll
at
go
this
from there.
point,
Yep.
yeah. And if we can all agree to this plan, then we go forward from there, but,
All right. To
Thursday at 3 o'clock, here.
the 30th, right. And we'll work on that.
My plan is to move Cindy to her house for 2 hours a week, or a month, whatever it is. I don't get her on camera, I've already told her that. I'm not sure, you know.
move somebody to their house?
Yes,
Who's that?
Cindy.
Move her to, put her,
No, she's not gonna wanna go home early,
3 o'clock.
I think.
what's the town hall gonna be over there on Prospect Street?
Well, it's not going to be on Maple Court, I can tell you that.
Oh, or Maple Court.
I can tell you right now, it is not.
Not bad.
No,
No, it's
we'll-
not.
We'll make it
No.
a rule that it has to be at the town clerk's house.
That's my private space, it's not going to be there.
How many various renditions have we had, Al?
Yeah.
We've had a lot.
Entirely too many.
Okay.
Well, all I know is the phone calls that I have had, they're gonna make me just totally destroy what I've already got. No, they're not. They were measuring and everything, and I saw Al
is
moving
measuring?
furniture around.
Wasn't me, you were measuring.
I was just measuring the,
Cindy was measuring.
Cindy, I measured up here.
Yeah,
It's the only thing I measured.
Right.
We weren't destroying anybody's space.
oh, well, they even told me you were already moving furniture around.
Uh-huh,
What?
yeah,
Probably slid out the bench so he could put his tape measure in the corner,
right. All right,
I'm just,
if that.
okay,
what happened.
Whatever.
Was the waste zero in here?
I will do that next time, though.
it's down there
Haven't
now.
seen it.
Down there, being,
Okay.
Haven't seen it.
Joe, have you seen the waste zero?
Oh, here it is. No, I haven't. I read it.
You're not gonna sign it.
Oh,
Right.
I'm gonna sign it.
I'm going
Trust me on
to,
this.
wouldn't that be ironic as all get out if
In
everybody
honor
signed
of
but Joe?
Norman Boudreau, the man who put this seed in the ground. I'm gonna sign this in his honor.
All right, let's move on. If you're
Okay.
gonna get to see your game, we better
I have,
pick it up.
I want to read this aloud so that the residents of the town of Tilton know that this is going on. The Tilton Northfield Fire and EMS Commissioner vacancy. Tilton Northfield Fire Commissioners are seeking to fill a vacancy on the Board of Commissioners from the date of the appointment until the next fire district elections in March 2014. All interested eligible residents are invited to file a letter of interest. Letters of interest should address the following topics. Why are you interested in serving as a commissioner? What skills would you bring to the commission? How would you work with your fellow commissioners to get the job done? What would you like to accomplish over the next 10 months or issues you would like to see addressed? Are you available to attend commission meetings and other commitments, especially during the busy budget season next fall and winter? Letters will be reviewed in open session at a special meeting on May 29th, 6 p.m., Northfield Town Hall. Persons interested in serving on the board are encouraged to attend that meeting to answer any questions the commissioners may have. Letters of interest are due by May 29, 2013, no later than 4 p.m. at the Tilton Northfield Station, 12 Center Street, Tilton, New Hampshire, or emailed to Kathy Tobine, Administrative Assistant, ktobine@tnfd.org.
Should you put providing notify when meeting will be? Just saying. I'll lay that out there for you.
Right.
You know, just
And there's a couple of things in the FYI for driveway permits and things that you can see. We have minutes. May 16th.
I'll make a motion, we bring the minutes of May 16th to the floor for discussion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Joyce, has the letter gone out to Senator Forrester on the DOT?
No, I've got, that's
Okay.
my pending list, I have to do that.
Okay.
Page 1, down at the bottom. I also included on that list were the store down here on Main Street. That was part of the original motion.
Where are you?
Right at the bottom
On
of the
page
first
1.
page.
That's right, you did.
I put the motion and after the discussion and then changed.
Pat made another motion later on to exclude that location.
So I could add that in and then amend the motion. You didn't amend it, you made the motion.
That was a new motion altogether.
Yep.
It also says a couple of times on page 2 that we're going to discuss on Tuesday with Best Way Casella.
I thought I changed that to Monday.
I was going to say, I may have said Tuesday, but it's actually
There was a
Monday.
little confusion on that day, Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Right, I'll change that again. I know I changed it a couple of times.
Did you get the letter written for the trails? For the grant that they were applying for Bikes Belong?
Yes, I did.
I think you can insert that motion after we came back from the non-public on the back page.
Yeah.
Do we have any other admissions, corrections, concerns?
Let's see any. I make a motion, we approve the minutes of May 16, 2013 as corrected.
Second. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
We should have done that in non-public.
What?
Bench.
Oh, can you, is it possible?
Right at the end.
Okay.
Right at the end, we're gonna talk about that.
All right.
June 18th is the spaghetti dinner for the seniors, 5 to 8 at Lockmere Country Club. Tickets are $10.
Okay, yeah.
Did everyone see the Facebook page for the PD? They have their motorcycle. Luke went and got it
No, I haven't seen it
No new
yet.
Facebook, so.
It's on
I don't know.
the,
on the Facebook, yeah. Luke went
Well,
and picked it up.
everybody's looked into it. I've actually got like going on 100 friends on the Tilton Recycles Facebook page that I can start getting out information. The cover photo is the 3 bins that are on the town website, and just general information things, what kind, general recycling talk at this point, a list of the stores where we'll be buying the bags and that kind of thing.
Sandy, do you have anything for us?
I'll skip tonight.
Okay. Al?
Everything's been my world so far this week.
Okay. Joe?
Oh, my goodness, yes. Surprised? On the 29th of May, that's a no. On the 29th of May, there's a joint board meeting. I think it's the 29th, maybe it's the 30th. The 29th, there's a joint board meeting with the co-op. Now, there's no votes to be taken at that time. Not like we have to commit to being with the
Right.
whatchamacallit, but even though that's a Wednesday, we're scheduled to talk with the selectmen in Tilton, or in Sammerton, and perhaps Belmont as well, about mutual areas of agreement and concerns and what have you. I really want to go to that, but I'm afraid to miss the co-op just in case some new news or something came up. So
Right.
I was, Dennis is my alternate, and I was thinking about trying to get him to go on that night, if that's okay with everybody concerned.
Sure.
Okay. Last weekend, there was an accident at the corner of Silver Lake Road and US 3. Thank God, no one was killed. It tied up traffic. Hopefully, we can avoid that during Bike Week. Old Home Day. I've been doing some fundraising for Old Home Day, and some of the potentially larger donors, because it's not a for-profit entity, need a copy of the W-9 for the Recycle Committee. But they don't have a W-9. And I'm like, was wondering, because the Old Home Day Committee kind of operates under the auspices of both towns, if I could get a donation for the Old Home Day thing written to the town of Tilton as opposed to Tilton and Northfield Old Home Day. Still put it in the same account, but use the W-9 from here.
You want the Tilton Recycling to do something,
No, Old Home Day. We're on Old Home Day now.
okay, you're on Hold on Home Day.
That's right. I have the potential to get a perhaps sizable donation to the Old Home Day Committee.
Yeah.
The corporate entity that's providing this potential donation needs a W-9 from the Old Home Day Committee because we're a nonprofit.
They have their own nonprofit
I didn't-
501c3.
They don't.
I mean, they don't. Did you call
I'm on the
Peg?
committee. I talked with the treasurer, I talked with the
went through that
chairman.
last year.
The paperwork kind of got talked about. They
Last
never
year we went through
They
that.
never submitted it.
So they're not a nonprofit entity as far as the law's
As
concerned?
far as everything goes, except for they're not properly
Except they're
registered.
nonprofit under the two towns.
But they're not properly registered
Right.
as a separate entity.
Okay.
So
So-
I was hesitant to just say, yeah, give me the check. Because if it's made out to town of Tilton, which covers the W-9, our W-9, and we put it into the Old Home Day Committee fund, I just see potential problems. And I don't know, I'm not a lawyer.
Can you address that?
I missed the,
Somebody wants to donate to the Old Home Day Committee, but they would really like a W-9 or a tin. Right.
well, if they don't have one, they can't give one, and it would not be a tax-deductible donation. Anybody can give the Old Home Day Committee money if they want.
I understand that,
But
but
they're not-
without that designation, because their paperwork is not properly completed, I guess is the best way to put it. Might have to forgo potentially a large donation.
They don't want to lose the large donation. How can they do that?
Oh, so how can they get the donation?
Right.
And if they wrote the check to the Tilton, town of Tilton, because we have a W-9,
And specified on it Old Home Day.
Yeah, because the town is selectmen, you could accept it as a gift to the town of Tilton.
and
for
they
Old
cut
Home
a
Day.
check to Old Home Day.
Well, you,
It has to specify Old Home Day, right?
yep, and you have a line item in the budget,
Old Home
you
Day,
have an approved purpose of appropriation,
right?
2,000. So then you would just accept that money, and then we could cut a check to that, what?
I was just going to say, doesn't Northfield also have the same thing? I mean, technically, isn't Old Home Day Northfield?
No.
Oh, so
Both of
it's both towns?
It's both towns.
Tilton
Okay.
Northfield Old Home Day is the name of the committee.
If they have a tax status, if they have a TIN,
I'm sure
So-
they do, but I don't know anybody over there.
So we could accept it as long as the check were made out to Old Home Day,
Tilton, Town of Tilton, Old Home Day.
In the subject
Donation.
line.
and then we would deposit that into our Old Home Day under Old
And then
Home.
we give them our,
and then you should have the Old Home Day Committee request it,
Yep,
right,
because they have to request their money.
right.
okay.
We've already given them, well, maybe, I don't know.
We haven't given it to them yet.
So then you're giving them more money, and then you just explain to the Budget Committee that this was,
A donation.
gift.
Right.
It's a gift.
And then we in
You
turn,
give
Do it
the
up, Joe.
corporation the EIN number, right?
I need a copy
TIN number.
of whatever paperwork I need to prove. No, I don't, because Tilton, he said, is it part of the town of Tilton? Because I can write you the check right now. No, I have to check. I have
It
to
is.
check.
It was a-
So I can get it.
Yeah, it was a committee that years ago, back in the mid-'60s.
Right.
That the two towns said, yeah, let's do this, and then they volunteers, and they had a committee, and they handled all the money, and they elect officers, it's public, they keep it public, and they give us an accounting of their income
Okay,
and
yeah.
their outflow.
yep,
I'm on that committee. I love Old Home Day.
Yeah, I think that would work. We'll just-
Okay.
Right.
Just a check.
Okay,
Excellent.
so,
You can give them our town W-9.
Yep.
Yep.
I think that he already has a copy of this, because he was saying, yeah, I could do it right now, if I can use the Tilton one.
Yep.
Okay, there's an issue with the underground storage tank, and I don't...
Again?
Huh?
Again?
Still.
Oh,
I just want to make sure that everyone's aware.
All
I know
right.
I've discussed it,
I thought it had been resolved.
no? Well, yes and no. It has been fixed, and there is no longer an issue, but going back, there is definitely an issue. Is it possible to get copies of these
Yep.
two sheets?
Yep, I will do
So
that.
that the others can look at this
Can I
as I
put
go
it-
through it.
Like this?
Any way that you could do it is absolutely terrific. As close as anybody can figure out, commencing in September of last year, the digital counters on the pump malfunctioned over there at the garage and counted at, they're still trying to do the tracking, that's why it isn't ready to actually resolve, but they're trying to ascertain the percentage that it was less. I mean, you'd pump 10 gallons and it would charge you for 8 or whatever, 20%. They're still trying to ascertain the number, but when you look at the numbers between, when you take 2010 or 2011 and 2012, you can see that the spike starts in September and the usage drops from 900 gallons to 600 gallons for the police department, that kind of thing. No, there's no reasoning for that except for the counter was off. Because they have it listed, not individual officer cars so much, but as a section. The police department have a certain set of keys. The police in Northfield, same way. Everything is listed on this. Bob Southworth and Whitney, his secretary over there, she really did a lot of work on this form. She's trying to get to cross-reference it with the invoices for the deliveries and the sticks. They stick it before at certain times, and they stick it before and after. There's also formulas for shrinkage, because gasoline, according to, when you put it into, I saw the bills, when you put it in the tank, they put it in at one temperature, but charge you for another. Because gasoline, it's different temperatures, and once it hits a different temperature, it expands or contracts. So at the end, you might pay for 100 gallons and get 105 actual gallons out of the pump. So there's a formula involved in that is accepted by the departments of weights and measures, or the name exactly escapes me. Once we get all that stuff together, I'll call another meeting of the UST committee, because I'm the chairman of that committee, and we'll take this, all this information under advisement and come up with a recommendation that we will in turn go back to our respective boards to discuss it with, and with an explanation of what it is exactly that has transpired, what we did to fix it, what we need to do, because quite frankly, the usage was like, let's say the usage was 1,000 gallons, the billing was 800 gallons. That kind, and those aren't the numbers, but the billing was significantly less than the
Fuel used.
the total used. Now, in the scheme of things, and you'd say, well, but it's the money's there, yes, but that's because the school district just pays the bills when they come in. Here's the invoice, yeah, we got the gasoline, ta-da. And then here's the billing, they send out the bills, and this is a new thing. They didn't start until June of last year. So she didn't find it until the school year started in September. She came back to work in August, and then when they came back in September, it's like red flags went up all over the place. So she started to chart it, and here we are today. So I just wanted everybody to be aware this is happening and may well, almost certainly will require us to cut a check for fuel to the school district in excess of the billing. And there would be a billing, I don't even know how this is going to work, but all of the different entities would have to agree on the formula, and it would be based on, I don't know what it's based on yet.
How often are these things checked, these,
All the time. They check them twice a month, bare minimum. They check it every time the truck comes, before and after.
if they're checking this, how does this get missed? It gets checked that often? How does this mistake happen?
Because of the digital counter. It was a
That's what I'm
billing.
saying. Why does
It's
the
a
digital
billing
counter
issue,
get
and the people who stick it don't, I mean, they just stick the thing in. If there was all of a sudden 500 gallons missing, they'd catch it. But this is a billing issue. There was no gas missing out of the tank. It was just not accounted for properly when the bills went up.
That's what I'm talking about, the digital readers.
It's two separate people, though,
How often do those get checked, is what I'm saying?
once a year, by law.
I guess they're gonna have to be checked more than that.
Well, it did get checked as soon as we found there was an issue, and I had the guy come from Gaff Tech and replace it. So it's not any longer, as soon as we realized there was an issue,
How long has it been an issue?
well, we're thinking since September of last year, so 5 months. Nobody caught it. The billing people didn't catch it. There's no gasoline missing. It was just billed improperly.
I understand that.
Okay.
But, it's still, we're gonna have to write a check.
We are going to have to write a check. We write it now, or we have written it over the time, but the thing is that the school
Look at
district
the
will have to
difference.
pick up the slack if we...
We have to go back to all the way to 2011?
We had to find where the numbers were, the average usage. If you go to January of 2011, just as a for instance, and you'll see, where the hell's 12? I didn't give you 12?
No, you didn't.
I have 12. Damn.
You want me to do 12 too? Here.
12 right there. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You go from 11 to, or from 10 to 11, 11 to 12, and you can see that it remained relatively stable. But just go from 11 to 13, the very first line. Northfield Police Department in 2011 used 650 gallons of fuel. In January of 2013, they used 472 gallons. Now, that's a significant drop. They haven't stopped patrolling. But it's right across the board. Tilton Police Department, in 2013, they used 585 gallons of fuel. But in January of 11, they used almost 900 gallons of fuel.
So you're telling me in 2 years, nobody noticed this?
12 is approximately the same as 13. When you get to the point at 12 where there's a discrepancy, for a while, she was just sending out
In
the
11,
bill.
there's a discrepancy. There's a $7,600 difference in what it was paid.
Between
but the-
11 and 13. But nobody checked what they were using in 11. I assure you that as soon as anybody said, the
So,
first time...
Joe, according to this, in November 2011, what you're saying is the amount paid to Stafford Oil was $14,695. The amount paid by the users was $7,066.58. The difference being $76.28.42. That is shared among the other users,
What number are you looking at from
Wait, the third column from the left on the bottom,
third column
from the right, I'm sorry.
that's from 2011.
Right.
But this isn't about 2011. This is about 2012. I didn't give you the right thing, and you've got it now. I'm just talking about the gallon usage. Look at the difference in the
Who
gallon.
makes up that difference? Who makes up that difference if there's a $7,000, what's paid to Stafford Oil and what's paid by the users? Who gets, there's
Users.
there's a $7,600 difference there.
We haven't.
There's an
ascertained-
$8,000 difference in December of 2011.
A lot of that gets picked up in the next month. There's no, it's 2012, if you go to the end of 2012,
Yep.
see, like, or even in March, February it was down, but in March it was way up. In April it was way up, or it was up. May it was up, then it goes down again. There's a certain amount of fluctuation according to when people pay, when the bills come in, that kind of stuff. But you start going out and it's like $3,800 in September. Then it went back up again, but then it was down, and all of a sudden you've got $12,000, and we're about 12 grand approximately in the hole. The rest of them balance out. Some of them are down, some of them are up. But all of a sudden, there's $12,000, give or take. I don't have that exact number. But look at the difference in the months of between 11 and 12. You're down every single one significantly. Nothing's changed. Not with the gallons. The prices might fluctuate according to what we pay and what have you, but the pumps were wrong. Now, I know the pumps were wrong. We had the pumps repaired. We're back in business with that, but as soon as I get an accurate, this is just a worksheet so that we could start to ascertain what the problem was. And as soon as I get a more detailed, we all sat there and none of us could point and say, aha! Maybe you'll have better luck than we did, but based on our meeting, Whitney and Bob were going to take the invoices, take the sticking, that's what they call it when they measure the tank, and find I mean, there's going to be some fluctuations, just because of the temperatures and so forth, but $12,000 is a lot of money.
Gas and diesel?
So, this is coming. I just wanted you to know that this will be coming. As soon as I have anything definitive, and you can look at this and,
I'm going to.
Gas and diesel?
this is gasoline.
Gasoline.
They're also running the diesel numbers, just to make sure, but the
That should
pump
never
seems to be
happen.
It's a bad
focusing
decision
on
to go
it's separate
enter into
counts.
this.
And now we're going to have to pay.
And so when did it start to fluctuate too much?
September,
September
apparently,
of 2012?
of 2012.
September of 2012?
The last quarter. And then, I don't know the exact date that Wayne Crowley from the school board called me and says, we got a problem, I think, with the billing for the gas. Like, really? He laid it out for me. I said, well, you got to put something together so we can see where the variation is and whatnot. We're okay for right now. I mean, this is not that, but we have to rectify it so the school district doesn't get stuck with a big overage, because it's not fair.
Well, it's also not fair thinking that, you're looking at the PD who uses a tremendous amount of gas, and they're going month to month and looking at their budget and saying, okay, this is what it's costing me.
I know, that's
All of a
why,
sudden, now it's doubled that.
we had it fixed within a week when we discovered what the problem was. It's like, well, damn, how could it be the
But now their
usage drop?
budget isn't going to be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
How can we, justify saying that?
They're going to use as much gas as they're going to use.
Right.
pure and simple. I mean, they're going to use what they're going to use, and come the end of the year, they may not have, because they budgeted on the entire 2012, they may not have enough in that line to cover their fuel expense, and we'll have to do what we have to do then.
We'll have to do a song and dance and make it work.
Joyce, do we really use that kind of mileage on the car for the town hall? I mean, that many gallons? Do you keep track of we have the worksheets that says how much?
And this is good information for stuff like that. How much do the fire department do, or the police department do, or
Well,
whatever?
I'm just looking at the town hall car, because we have one car, you
Yep.
know, and how much does it, I didn't think the car got used that much, but yet that's a lot of gallons.
10 to 15 gallons a month.
That's average.
But July and August, we didn't use any. Now, that seems unlikely. November and December, well, maybe not.
Air conditioning in that car.
That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and maybe not. I mean, November and December, we didn't use any.
Yeah, because no one wants to go clean it off.
Was Cindy on vacation that month? Just saying.
All right,
Okay, so it's coming.
okay.
Let me see, what else is on my list? Best Pocket Park. Best Pocket Park is looking really raggedy. I'm surprised there isn't tumbleweeds blowing through it. I mean, it weeds, the bark mulch is non-existent, it hasn't been mowed, whacked, nothing. Right on the corner of Main Street, the first thing people coming down Park could see or going along, right at that intersection, our town park is in a really nasty state of disrepair.
Have you talked to the park commissioners?
I was hoping to mention this. I noticed it last week and didn't think of it.
Oh, okay.
This week, I wrote it on my list of stuff so that I could address it with Catherine and have her take it back at the next meeting.
Right.
Because I don't know what their plan is, or...
Right.
Because the Best Pocket Park is now within the purview of the Parks Commission, right?
Right.
Well, I don't know how the other parks are doing, or what their plan is, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
that,
we can try to get in touch with Bob and ask him.
Party, I'll
Yep.
send out some emails to the Parks Commission and see if I can get an answer, or at least mention my concern to them.
Right.
Didn't they just
They don't
get
answer
it?
to me. Well, they do, as a resident, they do.
Right.
If I've got a park concern, they answer on that level, not as a selectman, but,
Right.
and that's the end of my tirade for this evening.
Okay. Well, if you do hear something, would you let the rest of us know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely, you bet.
Okay.
All right,
It's almost time.
I make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, matters if were discussed in public. That one, quick. Real
Second.
quick. Second, roll call vote?
Yes, yes, yes.
It's going down.
Make a motion to seal.
Make a motion to seal the minutes of the non-public as they pertain to matters if discussed in public until the matters are resolved.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
Motion,
Yes.
we adjourn.
Second,
Second.
yes.
Bang.
Favor, yes.
Boston Bruins don't have a chance.
Yes, they do.
Steve, this Bobby or guy.
Really? Because you went in there watching hockey. Have you been watching hockey? Have you?
Just trying to rile up Pat.
Well, you're riling me up.